Joe, would you stop with the innuendos? Won't you leave that poor girl alone?
Look, Amy, all I'm trying...
No, you look. Heather has been trying desperately to get back to those of us who are sane for the longest time. And now I'm questioning who's sane and who isn't.
We're not going to get anywhere at this rate.
Well, you're going to listen to what I have to say, whether you like it or not.
I was never in any doubt about that.
And I don't care how you or what you think about Heather giving that LSD to Diana Taylor. That was a mistake that Heather made and has been paying for it over and over.
If you would just let me interject.
No, I'm not going to let you interject. Do you think that I didn't notice what was going on at Christmas time? That poor girl was so intimidated. She was so afraid that she might make just one wrong move. Do you know that she asked me if she could please exchange some of her Christmas presents at a department store? Now, Joe, would you have to ask permission for something like that?
To exchange Christmas presents?
Mm-hmm. She was afraid if she asked anybody else, she might hurt their feelings.
Oh, I thought that Kathy Summers was supposed to keep her eye on her at all times, or else her mother or someone responsible.
Well, they did watch her all the time. Except that once, and I was with her that one time, and I am responsible.
I'm sure you are, Amy. I would never argue with you over that.
Well, then, Joe, why don't you just please leave Heather alone?
I'm not bothering Heather.
But you do know exactly what I mean, don't you?
I thought we were talking about exchanging some Christmas gifts.
I told you, there isn't anything else to tell you.
You know me and my overgrown curiosity and what a stickler I am for details.
Oh, gee, I hadn't noticed.
Where did you go to exchange the gifts?
Wyndham's department store. Hey, is there a law against that one?
That would be the day after Christmas?
I don't remember.
It have to be the day after Christmas because, well, you wouldn't exchange them before you open the gifts, and the store isn't open Christmas Day. So
Okay. It was the day after Christmas.
Can I ask just one more little question?
Oh, Joe, please, I beg you, do. Because if you don't ask the question and I don't answer it, I'm never going to get rid of you, am I?
Did you and Heather ever get separated when you were in Wyndham's?
Separated?
You know, by the crowds, or ever just find yourself in different parts of the store together?
I knew where Heather was every minute.
Every minute?
I even knew where she was when I was trying on dresses.
Well, then you did leave her.
Joe, I just thought that maybe the girl could do a little bit of shopping without being watched like a hawk.
No, that's almost exactly like keeping your eye on her every minute. How long were you trying on dresses?
I don't remember. A couple of minutes or so.
Okay, 10, 20 minutes?
I don't remember. But I wanted to give Heather a whole hour. But I didn't do it. And do you want to know something? When I came back, Heather was exactly where I had left her. So don't you say that I'm not responsible. Don't you dare make anything out of my responsibilities.
I would never make anything out of your being responsible, Amy.
Amy, how come you're so early?
Well, I need some time off.
What's wrong?
Well, it's kind of personal.
Oh.
Do you think that you could get somebody to fill in for me?
Well, I could probably get one of the other student nurses to fill in, yes. Is this an emergency?
Yeah, it really is. I have a friend that, well, I think they need a little help.
Well, all right. You go ahead, and I'll get somebody else to fill in.
Thank you, Jessie. And thank you for not asking any questions.
Sure. Amy, what's this?
What's what?
I spoke with you over at the university. If you were coming to the hospital, why didn't you tell me? I would be happy to give you a ride.
That's because I didn't need a ride, Joe. Leslie lets me drive her car. And you want to know something? I am so responsible that Rick lets me drive his, too.
Now, hold on. Hold on a minute, you two. You just tossed a bomb at me, so give me a chance to catch my breath and try to understand what you're trying to say. You think Jeff should just pack up PJ and leave town with a snap of his finger?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Steve.
Dump his career here at General and run off like some fugitive?
Wait a minute, the way you're talking, it's as though he'd be committing some kind of crime. That's not what I had in mind.
Well, maybe that's exactly the way I feel about it, Rick. Jeff has responsibilities at this hospital. To me, to himself, and a few other people I could mention.
All right. Take it easy. We're just talking this thing out, all right?
Indeed, we're talking about it. And I'm not sure he'd want to listen.
Hey, I know it seems like a big step for him.
Big? Hell, it's monumental.
Steve, he's got...
I don't know. I just don't know.
Steve, in my opinion, he's got to put as much distance as possible between Heather and his son. Until she has come well to the extent that he can proceed with a divorce. He has got to protect PJ.
By running away? What kind of protection is that? How long will it take her to find Jeff?
Well, that'll be up to me now, won't it?
Not totally. Not totally. Somebody has to know where you're going. I certainly do. And Ann will want to know, too. Just how long do you think you'll be able to keep your secret, Jeff?
I don't know, Steve. I'm trying to deal with what's happening right now. That's all I can handle. Look, I've got a couple of days before Heather gets out for her first visit. Now, if I haven't made a decision by then, I've blown my chances.
Steve, he's right. Whatever's going to be done, he's got to make that decision now.
It's absolutely the last thing in the world I would have considered.
Well, it just might be the last thing in the world that Heather would think that Jeff would ever try to do.
You sure, son? Absolutely sure?
Dad, I'm not sure of anything right now. But give me another suggestion. Steve, how long do you think I could keep Heather away from PJ if I stayed right here in Port Charles?
You know, when you first hit me with this idea, my mind almost went blank. I couldn't conceive of giving up my son and my grandson so suddenly. But with Heather coming into Port Charles every week, I know that no matter how hard you tried to keep her away from PJ, it would eventually fail. She'd win. She'd see him. We all know that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're not going to let her win, are we?
I'm asking for full custody, Steve.
Naturally.
Steve, if he is out of state or anywhere, out of town, while he has this period of custody, at least it stops her from coming in and asking to see PJ all the time. He's not here.
Yes, that's true. And we can't take a chance on PJ's emotional stability being undermined.
Yeah.
Well, by all means, Jeff. Make plans to leave this town by Friday.
I could use a little help, you know. I'm going to need the work.
Of course. I'll get on the phone and see what I can arrange. Any particular locale?
Well, what about Nevada? He establishes residency there. He can get a divorce in 30 days when she's well.
Listen to us. Planning this thing like some monstrous conspiracy. Wiping away a family's closeness with a few, well-reasoned words and a phone call or two.
Dad, we're not wiping it away. What we're doing is trying to save it.
I hope it's as simple as you make it sound, Jeff, but we all know it's not going to be. Dr. Hardy.
Steve, Joe Kelly's here at the desk, and he'd like to see you. I told him you were with Rick and Jeff.
Please send him right up, Jesse. Joe Kelly's on his way up.
Maybe he's got some word. His investigation.
Nothing. I just caught my coat on something and I ripped the hem, so I was just repairing it.
I didn't know you could do things like that.
Oh, of course I can. After all, I've been married. I learned how to do all kinds of household tasks.
How could you have torn your coat?
Well, Sarah, I mean, there's nothing so important about that. I just tore it, that's all.
Well, let me see.
No, look, there's nothing to look at. It's nothing so special. I just repaired it.
I wish that I could have been married and learned how to do all kinds of household tasks like that, like keeping house clean and tidy for my husband.
Oh, Mom, maybe someday I'll teach you how to do all those things.
You will?
Sure. Someday when we're all living together. You and me and Jeff and Steve and Lars.
I hope you mean that, Heather. Because I'm counting on it.
Of course I do, Sarah. And our little someday is going to be very soon. We're all going to be living together, happily ever.
You think I don't notice things, don't you, Heather?
What on earth are you talking about?
All those clothes you stole. They're missing.
So? What's so important about the clothes?
I looked under the mattress. And the nurse's uniform, the nurse's cape, the nurse's cap, all gone. Even the nurse's shoes.
You know, Sarah, I can really tell you care about me. By the way you help me and try to keep track of things for me. I really appreciate it.
What did you do with those clothes, Heather?
I put them back, Sarah.
Oh, you put them back. Just like that. You were so desperate to get them in the first place, and just like that, you put them back. Well, I think that there's something very funny going on.
What's so important about the stupid clothes? It doesn't matter.
Well, they weren't stupid when you needed them.
I know. I thought I needed them. But when I saw how upset you were when I used them to sneak out a few times, I didn't want to keep on frightening you that way. So I thought it would just be better if I put them back.
Heather, are you telling me the truth?
Of course I am, Sarah. Sarah, there's no reason for me to sneak out of here anymore.
Why not?
Because now that I know my little boy is safe and well, you're trying to spoil my secret surprise.
What surprise?
Never mind.
Heather, tell me. Tell me, please.
Well...
Come on, please.
All right. Dr. Nelson has officially made me an outpatient. This Friday, I'm going to spend my first full day in Port Charles. I'm going to be able to see my son, who I haven't seen for over a year. Isn't it wonderful? Aren't you excited for me?
Yeah, Heather, that's just wonderful. But, how do you know that Jeff is going to let you see your son?
How can you say such a thing? Jeff wouldn't be so cruel as to not let me see my own son.
But you might go all the way to Port Charles, and he just won't let you see him.
Sarah, if he tries to keep me from seeing my son, he'll be making a big mistake. I can promise you that.
Well, this doesn't exactly look like you've been up here telling jokes, fellas.
No, it doesn't. I'm afraid we've been making some rather unfunny decisions.
I'm leaving Port Charles, Joe.
You're leaving?
Yeah, for good. This Friday, before Heather gets out for her first visitation. I'm taking PJ with me.
That's quite a jolt.
That sums it up pretty well, Joe. It's going to take me a long time to get used to it, believe me.
Fast shot straight to the jaw, huh?
Joe, I got to do something to keep her away from PJ.
So you've decided that making tracks is the best thing to do, huh? Okay, where are you going?
I don't know yet. I got a couple of days to figure that out.
Yeah.
You agree with his decision?
Yeah, I think I do.
I was hoping you didn't.
Well, it's sound thinking to me to get PJ as far away from Heather for as long as possible.
Glad to hear you say that. I guess we're all pretty much in agreement then as to the best course of action.
Well, I didn't say that's the best course of action, but, well, it definitely is action. If there's anything you need, man, you know, just let me know.
Thanks, Joe. I know that.
Just say the word.
I will.